Abusua ha and the Cam Sports TV on YouTube. I would want some I in Saka and yede ebremona and edie ye rank midfielders mako nine omo esi akan ede amaboboku a ye friend Chelsea na to da bia amanfo ewo street ne so the media no so argument so on issues concerning certain players that have played for Chelsea, especially their defensive midfield role and how those players excelled and how you believe we say we are the we born homo de we or see do we kwa or see do we do her. So the question a lot of people even asked recently, they say Moises Caicedo or no I constant what no Yebefa Kante, Yebefa Essien, Yebefa Claude Makelele. Moses Caicedo drew baby as our players in the Chelsea drew and technical quality, not their skill set, what they bring on board, how they excelled on the field of play, their performance in Champions League night, their performance in Champions League venue, their performance in the Premier League, saying na this are players in Essien and saying you see ranking in pecking order and their performance in the world game, saying and you see who Sam ranking in their career in the football world and again their performance for Eyebobukwa, your friend Chelsea, and why Chelsea feel at any point in time they need to replace quality with quality at that department, and not any in summer yede eba eho nti munsaka video na wa share na obi bia nso ahwe bi na nso wa subscribe to the channel na obi ahwe bi na bibia nso atimi akoye and again nso betimi de o comments aba comment section ho say of these players that I've mentioned. So uti analysis ni we are de hen na hu so on e say dikan on e say tosumienu on e say otosumiensa on e say otosudan na again Moises Caicedo are reaching the level this place it drew here for Bubuku aye friend Chelsea no ana. The game of football am a lot of positions on the field of play. Now the position now bono a role that is supposed to play a department na ye amount and the dimension that you need to follow a pitch na ye amount any adwuma ye sekoye against your opponent. There's one vital position in football, very vital one in football that does not earn enough respect so far as the game not any concern. But that is the area. It is so important to any team build up. It is so important to any midfield. I call it the engine or where the game is played. That is where I called it. Any team that struggles to put up a better midfield, struggles in any major competition, struggles in any major tournament. And those are the players that shield, that prevent, that protect, that showed resilience, that throw their body to the ground, that cover the spaces, that clear the lines, that cover the ground, that intercept, disrupt, and destroy the opposition play. Or system or the room, whether differential or the preferential tactical plan a coach ebetimi deploy. But once again, that position does not earn the respect and deserve in the game. The reason is simple. Players excelling at the high ceiling, players excelling at that level, they don't entertain, they don't showboat, they don't show retentional play, they don't entertain fans on the field of play. But that role is so important to the fulcrum of every team. It is the pivot that allows the other midfield to revolve into whether you set up a flat midfield, whether you set up a triangle midfield, any midfield that you love to set, whether a magical rectangle, the magic square, the magic quadrilateral, whether you decide to go in for a lone pivot, a double pivot, you need that position in your game and a better team na team aye. And which position I make one sem? The position I make one sem no, the position called the number 6. The number 6. And one sem na make. Others will call it the defensive midfield. Others will call it the central defensive midfield. But hey, I call it the pivot. The pivot. That is the name I'm a friend. Then number 6. And the moment I talk about the pivot, that implies I'm choosing a more physical, combative style of a midfielder. Obetimi aye adwuma in front of the back four no edi amame, the back three edi amame. Na all my pressure and my back line no. That is the midfielder and me ba beka no ho asem. Na midfielder na me beka no ho asem no. Enyi nipa ba ko na me ba beka no ho asem. But make certain players almost see kind edema a team a ye friend Chelsea na omomode bonne so ani obi ayi no obi abon ho meden and how those players are sold within their ranks within their teams and the number of years and the era they spent at Chelsea and ameba beka ho asem na players are making abrante friend Claude Makelele of Free France osina kan de ma Chelsea Ngolo Kante Free France osina kan de ma Chelsea sanso na Michael the bison Essien enso ye Ghana ni osina kan de ma Boboku a ye friend Chelsea sanso na MOISE Caicedo Ecuador ni ono nso eguso esina kan de ma Chelsea 4 players we and remember become ho asem all these players excelled within the file and the rank of Chelsea. All these players achieved 1 trophies with Chelsea. Even Caicedo, at present, you see a kind of moment, he is still winning trophies. And let's not forget, in the last 1 season, 2 trophies to show. So it really tells you how these players perform exceptionally for a Chelsea Bobo. And once again, why Chelsea at every point in time decide to go in for a pivot. What is so special about the pivot? Now, and dear in Chelsea, it may call for these players. One thing that is so important before I talk about the players individually, say team B was so especially in Europe, almost a team be up. Now, almost successful. Almost the team near template, almost share 172. It break be almost come history books more. Obo say teams no, almost make sure say they will set up a team like that to compete and triumph over their opponents. Into Madrid will never stop exploiting the opposition fullbacks because of their weight play. From Paco Gento to Raymond Kopa. From Gareth Bale to Cristiano Ronaldo. From Rodrigo Guez to Vini Jr. Bayern Munich will never stop the Iron Robin Frank Ribery to Michael Olise to Luis Diaz. And China also almost sure because honey baby omumpne ema umfa kwa mfa nenu dia main positives are going into attack omu yusupa. It is all Chelsea. Omu ko 50 years. No multi trophy. And when they came back under Jose dos Santos Mario Felix, setting his midfield, decided to hit opposition on the break, going for a counter. Damien Daffy and Robin Dioko, he needed a pivot. And na MAKLELE buy no, MAKLELE buy no, omo successful. Inti no na ama Chelsea team bia no, obu make sure so obu benya ni papa ko mfimfia. Coincidentally, eya na be tuntum. Otherwise Abama ni chi buy, Steve Sidwell buy. Omo nyina ntimi Thiago Mendes buy. Omo nyina ntimi. Coincidentally, the black players and the goods were selling for the pivot role of Chelsea. And we all know the connection between the black and Chelsea and how the black adore Chelsea and how Africans love Chelsea and how the black community adore, cherish, and revere the football club Chelsea. And you know, and I'm Chelsea derby. There be a team no go. Na ya shisha. Ye here obi on fifi obe say di man dey amaye. Ye here say di pa na eno anu your team na ye. So Claude Makelele won Premier League trophies, played in the Champions League final. Unfortunately, that time not going to twilight. Makelele won the Champions League. He won the Europa Cup. Ngolo Kante won the Champions League. He won the Super Cup. He won the Europa Cup. Moses Caicedo, FIFA Club World Cup, the Conference League. And when the Chelsea decided there be any team they will need a pivot. Now, let me talk about the players individually. Now, players are making me babe rank omo. na me do obi ahye baabi na me so obi so many time the need about or the comment section. Now if I'm talking about these players, my number one player me ranking no Chelsea upon the list American outline no Claude Makelele. Claude Makelele of France, of Real Madrid, then BBC na kan Edema Chelsea. Or the 2 Premier League titles. Champions League final Olusunisky was part of the team by finals and Wamobi in 2007-2008 for Chelsea Boboko no. Makelele G trophies me EPL me and then move to America. Now, what is special about Makelele? Makelele and number 6 no is the Casemiro number 6. Momfa mfimfini nyame. Na mintum fasa fwane nko. Obi ntimi ma me bi eno ne Claude Makelele. Ono nko atimi gyina e de ma attackers. Enti hwe Damien Duff, hwe Eddie Johnson, hwe Joe Cole, hwe Ian Robin, hwe Didier Drogba, hwe Frank James Lampard. Omo nyina eja hokọ. Na ka Claude Makelele nko mfimfi. He intercept, he cleared the lines, he closed the spaces. He has a lot of ball winning skills, very disciplined, tough mentality, character, and any point in time, or you're flawless. His impeccable stature in midfield gave him the role, the MAKLELE role. And with him, the MAKLELE role. It is the reason why of Real Madrid 12 years no win the Champions League. After Redondo, he replaced Redondo in midfield. 2 different profiles. Real Madrid the 12 years. Omukofa Thomas Gravesen, Omukofa Alassana Diarra. Time omu win the Champions League no. Omu 2 players in this position. Sami Khedira, Javi Alonso, and some omu team win the Champions League. Eduma no nkwai ni pem you no pay the Real Madrid. He was so special in this role. And Fifi not the manner. No what two this afwan koba no baby. He was really special in his number 6 role, the Claude Makelele role. Born a Fifi a chile just in front of Ricardo Carvalho and John Terry. He gave them that space. He gave them that shield. He gave them that protection. He gave them that stability. No more. And he comes in with proper midfield awareness. On the ball, no move, Oja no the amount. Oja no the amount. But say now position now, but no one shiam. No one clear lines, no. And those roles are so important. Ferguson will not talk about his reign at Man United and forget about Roy Keane. As a Wenger will never talk about the Invincibles and forget about Gilberto Silva. Leicester City will not talk about their miracle without talking about Ngolo Kante. So significant, so important, so pivotal. That was the role of Claude Makelele. Inti ono, and I midfield here making Medine Beto number 1. Semi ranking midfield number 6 pivot for Chelsea. Claude Makelele and me as number 1. Me Makelele few I'm number 2. Michael the Bison Essien. Or ye Ghanaian ano Sina Academy Olympic Lyon. Eda Oba Chelsea BBC na kind. Now Ofri Lyon Oba, he was the best player in the French league. A league of talent, a league of physique, a league of maturity, a league of talent and a league of production line. In Ofri Oba Chelsea. Oba beto Claude Makelele. Until the coach decided to play the 2. So imagine a midfield Oba be share some team with the midfield 2. How will you fare against them? Into the 4-2 against Barcelona at the Stamford Bridge. A match will be a Renfi. The Liverpool 2 games. The Lobos Michel match. A match will be a Renfi. The Makelele goal that he scored against Arsenal, the Makelele goal that he scored against Barcelona, the Makelele versus Ronaldinho at the new camp. It was Essien. He comes in with interception, clearing the lines, providing shield, ball carrier, progressive play, tenacious shot, body checks, combative play, energy, strength, stamina in midfield. And no Michael Essien adeba. But piano okova. Owuramu Alliance Arena no akoye hoyi. Owuramu Emirates no akoye yi. Owuramu Old Trafford no akoye hoyi. Owuramu New Camp no akoye hoyi. Owuramu San Siro no akoye yi. That is the sort of player that I'm talking about. Only who feeling the presence. And at a point he was injured. Chelsea bomb matches are no muntimen more. Ombo matches are near show. Be okay did this be abekai. Chelsea struggled in the absence of Makelele. He could play as a right back. He could play as a centre back. And in midfield, he was the real deal. The energy in midfield. Goals obesa the amount. He won the Champions League. He won multiple Premier League titles. And only Makelele. They call him the bison. And the people around him will testify. I've heard Mikel Obi say that guy was underrated. At the training ground, he will get the job done. And all the coaches that came to Chelsea, the Carlo Ancelotti, the Gusedin, the Jose Mourinho's, the Luis Felipe Scolari's played Makelele. Look at the array of great coaches. I mean, it was him. Makelele was him. Excellent work rate. Excellent work rate. And he played against the very best of midfield. He played with the Javis Iniestas, the Luka Modric, the Toni Kroos, the Rui Costas, the Ricardo Kakes, the Stefan Effenbergs, the Bastian Schweinsteiger, Tiger, the Paul Scholes, the Steven Gerrard, the Patrick Vieira. Those were the class of midfield. In all, Makelele, no, to me, I miss all these players that I'm talking about. And you know, Remo Stamford Bridge, Makelele, that is the player that I'm talking about. So in this ranking, Makelele will be my number 2. Now the third one will be Ngolo Kante. A lot of people are, and they will be the national, had a chance to watch Ngolo Kante. Kante was special. To help Leicester City to win the Premier League, a miracle. He joined Chelsea under Antonio Conte. He was super. He played under Thomas Tuchel. Super. Now we can Ngolo Kante. I forget about the World Cup. At Chelsea, he was him. He was a gem. He was special. Now, the man is special and excellent work rate and football ethics. Again, now I hear the simple things right. And then now I hear the simple things right. Range of passing, get the ball, let me get the job done. Disrupt the opposition play. He gives you 100% energy, athleticism, work rate on the field of play. But people don't remember Ngolo Kante was him. Now, me kind of 2 games. And that Thomas Tuchel. Chelsea versus Atletico Madrid. Home and away. No beer in says Chelsea team na Atletico Madrid versus home. But that game was Ngolo Kante. It was him, Saul, Gabi, Coque Resurrection. It was Ngolo Kante. Man of the match back to back at the Metropolitano and at the Stamford Bridge. He was just super. He was simply special. His extraordinary work rate and the man Ngolo Kante. And when you meet the professional player, they will tell you the energy Ngolo Kante de Bobo almost omuntiasi. But in all, will he fit into the team of MAKLELE? Will he fit into the team of Essien? No, absolutely no. He will start from the bench. Because those guys were in the class of their own. Those guys were proper legends within the space. Those guys excelled in Champions League venue. Those guys excelled in the midst of great midfielders. Those guys excelled consistently in European nights. But Ngolo Kante, not to take anything away from him, he was a very good player. And Thomas Tuchel forever will be grateful to him for those 2 games. And for me, that did the magic. And against Manchester City in the final, the Stadio de Dragao, again, it was Ngolo Kante. It was him once again. It was him once again. And Kante was special, but he will not pass the test of Essien and then Claude Makelele, because those players were really, really special. Ngolo Kante was extraordinary. But for me, Essien, Claude Makelele, above him. The last one is MOISE Caicedo. Caicedo from Brighton to Chelsea, from Ecuador. Caicedo will be last because 1, he has the FIFA Club World Cup, we are seeing our 2, Waje the Conference League. But Caicedo is here to excel in the Champions League venue. One of his bad games. It happens to any footballer. Or still, I have a lot to do. He is currently the best defensive midfielder in the game. I don't think he has any competitor. No. I don't think he has any competitor. His energy level, his work rate, his work ethics, the way all the simple things right, his array of goals, his positional sense, the way he comes in with proper awareness, the stability he gives to the Chelsea team, the stability he offers for the Chelsea midfield. I'm sorry, I've not seen any DM or a pivot that come close to Caicedo this season. Really special. But a lot of space to cover. If you really want to be paired among the greats, then a lot of work to do, or a lot of space to do. Very good player. I love him. Maybe pivot for us. I love him. I love conductors. I love registers. But hey, I love those guys who get a job done. It is the reason why I'll forever be grateful to Carlos Henrique Casemiro. But hey, Caicedo were Jumaye. Meaning, say, on football with Chelsea, now on free Chelsea, near the Nidia Barbe list. Probably, you will be a free the first 3 no the Nidia Barbe show. MOISE Caicedo. What a midfielder. Very young, very energetic, full of resilience. Throwing his body to the ground, he get the job done, or get the simple things right. But a lot of space to cover. So to me cover our space now. That should be a ye budinya me bubo ye bia, yet in a deep baby, and only at the haka. And to also a Chelsea fan, or a football fan, I will share me. How do you rate this play? Where do you place the play that I've ranked? In all, MAKLELE as my number 1. MAKLELE as my number 2. Ngolo Kante as my number 3. MOISE Caicedo as my number 4. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification button, and share video no be antime no be answer so intime kabi. I and the Chem Sports TV on YouTube. Catch you as a video na set it to also on page no share. Once again, football offer better positions, and one important position is the number 6. And within the Chelsea team, 4 players will make me rank home. How do you read them? How will you rank them? I'm into from the comment section. I am doing busy. I'm out.